Hey guys, living in France has its perks sometimes, like winning the World Cup or being the first country to have Rubik's Cubes as McDonald's gifts in Happy Meals. So that's really cool. I was really glad to hear that they did that because it's really adapted to my YouTube channel, and that gave me an excuse to go to McDonald's and eat really fat food. So that was great. Now, if you're watching this for the tutorial, please skip to the end of the video. That's where I explain how to solve this if you're trying to teach your children. But for everyone else, I want to make a few comments about this first. So McDonald's, I think that was like their best idea so far for a Happy Meal toy, because I think Rubik's Cubes are a really great object, you know, to improve children's, well, not motor skills, but rather like hand-eye coordination. I think it's a really good thing. Plus it helps with the logical thinking abilities, so that's really good. And I think it's a nice thing to have, you know. It's a plus for us as a community. It's really going to be helpful because not only are the children going to be able to play with Rubik's Cubes and maybe like that and try to buy more complex ones, but also it's going to make parents think about the Rubik's Cube and maybe offer them to, you know, family and friends. And I think that's going to be very useful because it's probably going to give more attention to the cubing community as a whole. So that's really great, and I'm glad that they chose this. Now let me talk about quality, because this is, after all, my specialty. 3D design and such. So this is, you know, something you have to remember is that this is a $1 or 50-cent puzzle that they buy in bulk. So obviously they didn't really put much into the quality of the puzzle because it needs to be cheap and not good. Yet, surprisingly, it's actually quite good. Now, for those who are wondering, this is not like a sponsored video. I'm not paid to do this. This is just because I went to the McDonald's and I got some because I wanted to show them on my channel. But honestly, the quality is much better than I expected. Also, the plastic is very thick, so it's like unbreakable. I could throw it against the wall and I wouldn't even have a doubt that it could just stay perfectly fine. Something I noticed is that here there's a part that moves along with the adjacent part here. I think out of friction. I think that's what, well, I mean, that's the part you screw in, you screw that center in with. And yeah, essentially you screw the screw inside that part and it just fits together, and it's surprising, I'm gonna be honest, because they could have just screwed into this part. I just made a hole in that part, but yet they chose to add an additional part to put the screw in, which is kind of strange. And plus that means also that the tension is relatively uneven in the puzzle. Like, this is very loose, well, loose. It's reasonable, but it spins very loosely, and this is much tighter. As you can see, there's like some sort of clicking, except it doesn't click like at the end of a turn, it clicks in the middle, and here it's like there's too much tension. This one is much tighter, so it's pretty random, I guess. And this is really tight, so I guess this one is much better than the first one. But again, very cheap puzzle, so it's quite random. I am gonna open one up just to see the insides. Now, something else that I noticed, and that's really great. You know, as a child, I used to, like, the first time that I played with the Rubik's Cube, obviously, like everyone else, I peeled the stickers, which is completely stupid because it damages the whole thing. With this one, there's only one sticker, and that's the one that protects the screw. The other ones are just painted on, so you can't just remove them. You can't even try to remove them. And that is really great because it's gonna prevent cheating, and I think that's a good thing because they're gonna have to think instead of try to cheat. So that is nice. Now let's butcher this, and because I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to remove the sticker without damaging it. Yeah, nope. Okay, so let's just peel that off. All right. Okay, so it's a paper sticker, so obviously that thing is broken, and that is one of the reasons why you don't peel stickers off a Rubik's Cube. And okay, so it is not a screw. That's not what I expected. You know what? It's broken anyways. Let's just break it fully. So I think that's a rivet, not a screw. It's just pushed in. So that would explain this piece, I guess. That's quite strange. I wasn't expecting that. Let's see if I can pull it apart. I'm gonna damage it. I'm hearing cracking noises. This thing is unbreakable, seriously. Okay, not what I expected from Rubik's brand, but, well, yeah, it is unbreakable, but it doesn't spin that well, usually. But this one is reasonable. It's like unbreakable and it spins well, so I'm surprised that Rubik's brand actually made a Happy Meal toy that spins better than their own Rubik's Cubes. Okay, it's extremely hard to break. I can't seem to break it, so that's unfortunate. Okay, seems like I've broken it, hopefully. So let's try to understand the inside, because I'm curious. Not the 1x2x3 mechanism, because I know that one by heart. It's actually quite the basic mechanism. I'm more trying to understand how this works, the rivets. So it is indeed. Wait, it's not really a rivet actually. Oh yes, it is. Okay, so it's just pushed into that, and I think I'm just gonna be able to assemble it again without breaking anything, because it's still, you know, there's still like excess plastic in there. So it's just two parts right there on the inside, with that small rivet that goes in there, and here the counterpart. So that is more complex than it needed to be, but I guess that's fine. You know, it's a working mechanism, so who cares? Now the mechanism, obviously spindle mechanism, very simple but very well toleranced. And something I'm noticing is that the parts are split in halves. Well, obviously you could see it from the production line right there in the middle, which is kind of strange. I was expecting them to put it somewhere where it wasn't that visible, but it's extremely visible. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that it was ultrasonically welded, so it's not really openable. I don't think it is. But that's a good thing, I guess, because, you know, at least it's solid and it's not gonna break. All right, so let's reassemble that, and I'm gonna show you how to solve this puzzle, because it's quite easy, but I just want to try to be useful and maybe help children solve this thing. Let me just see if I can. What am I doing? Oh, right. I can't believe I'm having trouble assembling that thing. Okay, so it seems that it's. Oh yeah, it's just part of another dog. Okay, whatever. So let's finish that off like this. Perfect. And now I'm gonna need to put the rivet again. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to, but you know, might as well try. Okay, that is not the right side. Obviously, there's a color for that. Okay, something I just noticed, mechanically speaking, there's two stoppers right there, one on each side, and that one goes right there, so that's why it doesn't spin. It's not friction, it's just that there are stoppers in the center, so that's, I guess that's a smart move. Alright, and now let's finish the assembly with a screwdriver. Well, it's not broken. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to choose this one for the solve because it doesn't have that green sticker anymore. I'm going to make a new one for it, or just paint the face or something, I don't know. I'm going to be using this one for the solve. So this is extremely, well, I was going to say extremely difficult to scramble because there's not much to scramble. See, for example, here you've almost solved the whole thing. There's just these two that are, well, this one that's in the wrong position. But let's just try to get the most scrambled position possible. I think that's pretty scrambled. Okay, so when you have this scrambled like that, you need to make sure that one side is correct. So you need to start with one side. Now this side is the green side, so you're gonna want to put one of these two green parts here. Now let's assume this one is in the worst possible position, which is here. So these two are essentially as far as they could be from their correct position. Now if I do this, they're going to be in the right position, but the centers aren't going to be solved. So what you need to do is, well, you can't just put this here because it's going to reverse the orientation of the center. So you need to bring this on the other face, which is the red face, move it all the way down, and then switch it with this one to put it in the right position, right here. So here you have the body and the face of the minion. And now this part needs to go up here, so you're gonna do the same thing. Since now it's on this face, you're gonna move it all the way up and then move it to the left side. Now there are two possible outcomes. Once this is solved, then this can either be solved or this center can be flipped 180 degrees. Now this is solved in any case. Worst case scenario, it's like this, but you just have to turn it to solve it. Now, if this is solved, then the whole thing is solved. If it's not, then all you have to do is turn the right face, turn the top face, turn the right face, turn the top face, turn the right face, and turn the top face one more time, and the puzzle is solved. So yeah, I hope this was sufficiently easy for you, and yeah, I hope this tutorial was useful. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe. I'll be posting the next McDonald's toys video quite soon, and more videos about puzzles and 3D printed designs of mine, such as this one right here. I'll see you in the next video.